Okay, my Titanic textures. We are going to make something on the 3D printer. And when I say we, I mean, of course, all of you, because I don't want to make anything. I will, however, print the things that you create. Theoretically, I'll get them to you next week. That's the best case scenario. We are going to design shoe charms. Shoes aren't necessarily charming enough by themselves, so I want you to create something to place onto your shoes. Specifically, this is something that will go on your shoelaces. Now, we're going to have some rules, some parameters. Your object can only be 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters. Pop that bad boy up. There we are. And no more than 5 millimeters tall. So 50 millimeters in the x-axis, 50 in the y, and then 5 in the z. There's a lot of things that you can do with this and kind of fun. So next parameters, before we get all crazy, I want you to use only basic shapes and text and numbers. None of these other things for now. That might change in the future, but for this first project, basic shapes and text and numbers. I'm going to go to text here real quick. Fun one is your initials. So my name is Ray Marker, so I'm going to get the M for my last name and the R. Now remember, when we've done things before, they need to overlap and touch if we want to print them together. There's different solutions to this. So I have them there. Going to group. Now, to make my life a little easier, I'm going to click on that bad boy, and make that 50. Then click on, oops, that son of a gun, and make that bad boy 50, kablam. All right, so those are my initials. And let's check my height. 4 millimeters, that counts. Now, I suppose I could run my shoelace through the R, but that's kind of lame. So separate from our 50 millimeter by 50 millimeter limits, we also have to have a ring. So one way to do that is I can put a tube up here, and I'm going to lower that height to matching 4 millimeters. And we group that together, and all of a sudden we have something that can go on your shoelace. Pretty cool. Another option, however, kind of an exciting one. So I'm going to take care of my group. Now, I have R and M. I'm going to flip it over onto its back. We remember how to rotate things. Right here, get that 180 degrees around. Kerchunk. And now, this is a trick that I would only attempt with you advanced super texters. So I'm going to have my tube. Now notice my tube is below the work plane. That is a bad thing. I'm going to hit D. Bam! So there that guy is. And now we have it on the back. This is not something I would recommend we do very often, but the 3D printer can handle some unsupported elements in very limited fashion. If you do the tube this way, we are going to have it on something else. And then also, I need that wall thickness to be 4. If you need help, your instructor will help you. If you're not too sure about how this would go, do the tube the other way, just as a top ring. So we can get pretty creative with this. We can make, well, let's look at what we do here with a box. We can start to knock holes in this and begin to make something else sort of neat and fun. If I'm not doing this too badly, always a bit of an if. We have what's going to look like part of a lightning bolt. You can see then if I use some more of my shape over here. It's getting a little funky with my boxes as well, and again. I think a lot of you can be a lot more creative than me. We begin to see some things that we can begin to get creative with. And so I would like to see what you guys can make using these basic parameters that we've started to discuss. So go have at it. I look forward to creating some shoe charms with all of you crazy friends.